Hey, how you guys doing? Coming at you with another video. Currently leaving the hospital right now. Janisha's doing really well. Baby's doing really well. So we just officially hit, what is it? 20 weeks. So, excuse me. The baby is technically 19 weeks. However, she is the size of like a 20 week old baby, about 20 and a half weeks. So that's very good news. So yeah, so she's doing well. Raina is doing well. All seems to be on the up and up right now. But anyway, that's not what I wanted to make this video about. This one is more specifically for actual Walmart drivers. I guess you can apply it to whatever company you drive for, or if you're trying to get on board with Walmart, then it's something to keep in the back of your mind whenever, you have to go through this. So I've been hearing through the grapevines that we are up for rebidding for our start day. Some people call it routes. I don't know why, because we don't really have routes like that. Our launch day, whatever you want to call it, you guys know. Apparently we're up for rebidding, realignment, whatever you want to call it. And I noticed that a lot of people are just like, people asking like, which fleet pays more? Because, we have a 6-3. The different DCs offer different fleets. It's just depending on what your DC has. All DCs have the 5-2 regular, schedule like that. However, in totality, we have set runs, we have day cab positions, we have 5-2, 5-3, 6-2, 6-2, 6-3. We have like a plethora of different options. I can't remember all of them off the top of my head. So everybody I've noticed has been asking, well, which one pays the most, which one pays the most? And I've preached this on another video. Truck drivers like to look for, three big things: your home time, your pay, and how the company treats you. Now, the order of importance varies per driver, but those are the three things we look for. So everybody's asking about how much one pays, how much this one pays, how many days you're working on this one versus off days, blah, blah, blah. And I'm putting this out there. This is just my point of view. You don't have to agree with it, but I found it works for me. Everybody's asking like the money. Well, ask what fleet fits best for your lifestyle, and your needs and your wants, instead of what pays. Because sometimes choosing or chasing the almighty dollar can it can have some negative side effects to it. And I'm just going to make up an impromptu example. Actually, I'll use myself as an example. I'm on a 6-3 program. Now, when I first got hired, I was on a 5-2. I live 3.5, 4 hours from my DC. So, and I was a 9 o'clock out. So what would end up happening was, on the 5-2 schedule, I would have to get up at like 2 o'clock, 2:30 in the morning, so I could leave my house by around 3:30 to 4 o'clock. And I would drive my 3.5, 4 hours to my DC, get to my DC around 8 to get the truck set up, get my paperwork, and roll out by 9. By the time I'm actually on duty, I would already have been up for a long time. So what I found was that I would cut my first day really short, but because I'm on a 5-2 schedule, I can't make up for it on another end. So I was noticing that I'd cut my first day pretty short, and then throughout the week, I would usually work around 13 and a half to 14 hours per day. And when I was turning my truck in on my go-home day, two big things. I was getting into the yard late. So I would usually start around 9 o'clock in the morning, and then I would get back to the yard or be done probably around 8:30, 9 o'clock at night. So I'm getting back to the yard late, and I'm not running my 70. Both to me are pretty shitty. So I was leaving like 10 hours, 11 hours on the table that I can't even use. And then I'll get back to the yard around 9, 10, clean up the truck, be on the road by around 11 o'clock, 11:15 to drive back home at 11:15 at night. Drive 3.5, 4 hours back home. I wasn't getting home till super early on my official first off day. Then I'm going to sleep, waking up, most of my first day off day is gone. So I wake up, it's gone, do what I can, try to get a little bit of rest, and then I have my next off day, try to cram everything I can into that off day, but then I have to do laundry, catch everything up, and then go to bed at a decent hour because that next day is the day I have to go back to work. So I'm literally taking a large chunk of my off days, spending it driving to and from the DC. And I'm not getting the quality home time that I wanted. So I elected to do 6-3. And people just like, oh, you make less money on 6-3. You're not gonna, you're out that 6th day, so it's gonna be a lot on you. I came from being on the road for 2 months at a time, so working 6 days ain't nothing to me, okay? Don't forget where you came from, people. I came from staying out for 2 months at a time, so 6 days doesn't really bother me. I like it. They're just like, you're not gonna make any money on 6-3. They make less than other fleets and all kind of stuff. But I had to, why is this guy on the shoulder? Let me get back over. I had to evaluate what works best for my life. And it's great because now when I go into work, I go in on my first day, I work, a decent amount of hours. I've definitely built up my stamina. I work a decent amount of hours. My first day, I usually work about 10 or so hours. Every day in the middle, I work my 13 and a half to 14 hours. I take a strict 10-hour break. And then what happens is when I hit my 5th day, I see what I have left on my 70, and I'll normally cut that day short so I can have enough time to justify me working that 6th day. And it's great because what ends up normally happening is I usually can start my 6th day around 6 o'clock in the morning. I'll work around 8 hours, and I'll be off at around 12. I get home around 3:30, 4 o'clock on my 6th day. Now keep in mind, your 6th day doesn't technically count as one of your off days. So I get home 4 o'clock in the afternoon on my 6th day, and I spend the rest of the day at the house doing stuff with the family. And then I can actually get in bed, get good rest, get up, and actually enjoy 3 full days off. And then turn around and get ready for work. I'm refreshed. I've had a significant amount of time with the family and at home taking care of whatever business I want to take care of and doing whatever I want to do. And then I get back to work and I'm refreshed and I'm ready to rock and roll again. I didn't have that on a 5-3, on a 5-2 schedule because it's just the 2 days off was not enough for how far I live from my DC. I also found that I was able to be way more effective at work when I had the off time that I needed and the time to relax that I needed. So, case in point, I don't want to make this a long video. To all my fellow Walmart drivers, yes, you want to chase money. No, yes, you want to get good money. Everybody wants good money. Regardless of what fleet you're on, you're going to make great money. So, I guess it just depends on what your definition of great money is. I know plenty of people on the 6-3 who are making like mid-90s, 100,000 a year. So you're doing pretty good. You know, if that's not enough for you, by all means, do whatever works best for you. However, you have to find that sweet spot, because you have people who will extend out and then they don't even get much off time. And then you have people, I've heard people who extend, who live far from the DC. Like, you might as well just get a hotel room when you finish your extension day, because going home is a waste of gas and money and time, because you're not even gonna be able to be home for a full 24 hours before you have to come back and a reset has been completed. So I don't know, I would look at what your life needs and look at, you know, what your family's requirements are. Look at how far you live from your DC. Take everything into account except just looking at a paycheck, because you're going to make great money on either fleet. You want to make sure your mental health is taken care of, your family's health is taken care of. And I don't just mean physical health, I meant literally the emotional, mental side of your family, making sure that they're, you know, happy, they have the time to see you. Because great, you're getting all this money, but what good is that if you don't even get a chance to really spend much time with your family? Because you live so far from your DC, but you want to be on a 5-2 schedule, and then you want to extend, and then when you time to go home, you got to drive all this distance home. Take into account everything, you know, your whole lifestyle. Don't worry about what your paycheck is going to be every 2 weeks. I mean, if that's your main goal, by all means, then prioritize it. But I hear too many people complaining that, you know, about stuff on the outside of their life not going right, and that leads me to believe that you might prioritize your paycheck, but in reality speaking, that's not what should be your main priority. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say. Nothing fancy. I didn't want to make this too long. I want to stick around 10 to 15 minutes, so I think I'm on that mark somewhere for the length of this video. But yeah, look at your whole life, look at everything that's important to you, and make a decision on when you're doing your realignment. Make a decision based off of the totality of your circumstances and not just a paycheck, because the money will come if you're, you know, the money will come regardless, but you're going to be happier doing your job, and it's going to make you more effective at work for the days you are there, because your needs are being met outside of the truck, your family's needs are being met outside of the truck, and in turn it makes it easier for you to come to work and do your job when you know you can leave home and everybody's been satisfied. So anyway, guys, that's all I gotta say. Like, comment, subscribe. Y'all have a great day, and I'll catch y'all on another video. You would cut in front of me, you dummy. Anyway, later, guys. Y'all have a great day.